Thank you, Chip Prince, for the beautiful music that you've prepared for today to help take us to that galaxy far, far away. May the 4th be with you. I heard it. As Reverend Ian says, however you found us, wherever you come from, you are welcome here, whether you are in the sanctuary or online at home. We are a sanctuary centered in love. Love is the force we use to bind us and propel us in our work together in the wider world. As the world grows darker and more dangerous, I am reminded that we need not think alike to love alike. Let us move forward in worship today, bound together in the common cause of love for all humanity, care for those on the margins, and freedom for the oppressed. May our love be the force that draws us close and that which others see shining as a beacon. Now I'd like to invite Mel up. She's graciously agreed to lead us in song today.
Hello. Good tone. Everybody stand. Our opening hymn is Love Will Guide Us.
That sounded wonderful. Thank you. So our chalice lighting and unison aspiration this morning is a responsive call to worship called Love Invites Us by Anastasia Baroche. I will start with a short opening, and then we will do our responsive call. I will read the worship associate words, and you all will read the congregational response. Okay? As Reverend Ian would say, we can do this. We come together to lament with, celebrate with, and care for one another in our community and our world. Because we want to be here with one another, love is not only at the center, but also the opening that invites us to lament, celebrate, and care. Oops. Sorry, I lost my spot. Love invites us to honor our interdependence with all beings in the web of all existence.
Love invites us to envision a world where all are free from exploitation, and the smallest to the largest are protected and nurtured with care and respect.
Love invites us to revel in our uniqueness, using pluralism as our guide.
Love invites us to recognize all beings as sacred and celebrated. Our differences are appreciated and valued. All are equally sacred
Love invites us to counter all forms of oppression with justice.
Love invites us to dismantle all forms of racism and systemic oppression. All people are worthy of thriving.
Love invites us to participate in our individual and collective transformation.
Love invites us to cultivate change so we may grow spiritually and ethically. We know that we are perfectly imperfect and never finish growing.
Love invites us to connect by opening our hearts to generosity.
Love invites us to willingly and thoughtfully share our time, talent, and treasure. Our generosity connects us to relationships of interdependence and mutuality.
Love invites us to create inclusive, equitable communities.
Love invites us to know in our hearts that all people are inherently worthy and have the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion.
Love invites us to worship together. Very good. Our reading today is called "It Is Not Always Easy to Find Love at the Center" by Esther Hurlbert. It is not always easy to find love at the center. It is not a set of easy instructions numbered 1 through 7, or maybe 8. It is not always easy to find love at the center. Today, in Covenant, we celebrate our living tradition, which invites us to take deep breaths of fresh air into the newness of every day, that our minds, hearts, and spirits will be continually nourished. It is not always easy to find love at the center. So for today, we gather in Covenant to celebrate the reality that love is at the core of our beings, and that love will guide us if we open ourselves to the challenges which love requires of us. May we accept this challenge with dignity and grace. Amen. So as the ushers come around for the offertory and we think about our sacred church and the bounty it provides all of us, please give as generously as you can so we can continue to care for our wonderful church for generations to come.
Maybe join me in putting both feet to the floor, sitting up in your chair a little. The crown of your head gently rise towards the ceiling. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. This mantra is used by the rebel warrior Chimrit Imwe. It is his guide into and out of battle. It strengthens and centers him. Perhaps this morning and in the coming days, it becomes our mantra. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. One last time, breathing deeply into that mantra. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
And if you'll stand with me, our closing hymn is answering Spirit of Life. Where'd Spirit of Life come from? Meditation. I was so
Today is May 4th, Star Wars Day. So I say to you, may the 4th be with you. And also with you. And if you're formerly Catholic or Catholic adjacent, you might think, and also with you in reply. And of course, this is a play on the phrase used frequently throughout the movies, may the force be with you. And it was intentionally written to echo, the Lord is with you. So according to Wikipedia, the force is a metaphysical, mysterious, and ubiquitous power, ubiquitous being my favorite word, in the Star Wars fictional universe. Characters refer to the force as an energy that interconnects all things in the universe, maintaining cosmic balance. Particularly force-sensitive characters, usually through rigorous self-discipline, training, and mindfulness, are able to connect to the force and thus access and wield certain supernatural powers. Heroes like the Jedi, a peacekeeping group of warrior monks, largely seek to become one with the force, matching their personal wills with the will of the force. This is evidenced by their ability to channel its powers, which they do towards selfless goals. Meanwhile, the Sith and other villains try to bend the additional abilities gained through the force toward their own selfish and destructive desires. Throughout the franchise, this distinction is referred to as the light side versus the dark side of the force. Characters' actions are often described as either helping to bring balance to the force or its opposite, causing a disturbance in the force. The force and the Jedi religion have been compared to aspects of several real-world religions such as Buddhism and Taoism. And when you look around today, we have a disturbance in the force. And we are living it every day. And so how do we right things? Well, previously I likened the force to the spirit of community and covenant that we create here at UUCOD. I'm still comfortable with this idea because the force is the love that we bring to all things. I believe that is because my focus lies in using the force for good, as a tool for maintaining our strong covenantal connections to one another. A grounding and centering spirit that enables us to draw strength from our community when we need it to persevere in our efforts to love this world and love each other. A vehicle for welcoming others into what Gregory Boyle calls cherished belonging. We're at a time in our world where it seems the dark parts of the force are on the rise and have ascended to power. It is discouraging. It's wearying to think about. And yet, here we are, together, facing it. While I drew inspiration for today from the series of movies about a spirited group of rebels who rely on their promises to one another and their commitments to the cause of defeating evil, I also found some other sources for this moment that we face. Jamar Tisby is a trained historian and minister. He is a Black man who attended Catholic schools while not being Catholic and discovered that a Reformed tradition of Christianity resonated with him. In his online biography, he speaks to his journey from being invited to the table, finding a seat at the table, to flipping the table in the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement, to building his own table. Because as he says, quote, in 2016, when Donald Trump descended the elevator in his New York City hotel to announce his bid for candidacy of the President of the United States, we learned how egregiously connected white evangelicals are to racism and Christian nationalism, Exit polls show that 4 out of every 5 white evangelicals who voted pulled the lever for this man. It became undeniably clear that there wasn't really space at this white, reformed, and evangelical table for a person to be present as their whole self, Black and Christian and all. This table was never built for people like me, he says, and I couldn't justify spending so much time and effort trying to make myself or others like me fit in. Sometimes you have to flip the table you're at and start building your own. He is a man who uses the Force to build community, and he writes a Substack called Footnotes, as well as a series of books on justice. So in the wake of the LA fires, he attended a talk by Reverend Tracy Blackman. As part of this talk, Reverend Blackman shared a picture of a home in Los Angeles that was untouched by the fires due to its particular construction and landscaping. I'm sure many of you saw that photo. In the midst of so much destruction, there stood a home intact. And what Jemar Tisby took from this was an urgent call to stop saying, "We've been here before," when reflecting on the state of the world. Things are different than in the past, even if there are historical echoes. The corruption of evangelical Christianity, the racism, the corruption of those in power, and the technology moving these messages at lightning speed all thrust us into a situation with historical parallels and stinging differences. Tisby says our response should be much like the house that stood. We were built for this. When I think of our community here, I think we were built for these times. We have the tools that ground us in love. We rely on each other. We are willing to be transformed by each other and our relationships. We are generous with each other and the wider world. We are committed to justice at all levels, and we speak out about that online, in person, and to our lawmakers. We cherish equity and pluralism in a manner that preserves and protects the marginalized, as well as works to keep democratic institutions truly democratic. So when we keep love at the center of our covenants with one another, and we grow our community this way, we are using the Force for good and building capacity to face the situation as it is, speak plainly and clearly about it, and resist the darkness that has gathered. From now on, I remind myself, we are built for this. In that same talk with Reverend Blackman was another Christian minister, and she too saw the picture of the house that withstood the fires. Now, Diana Butler Bass reaches people where they are online via website, Substack, and socials. She also frequently appears on television and in print media, and again, she holds a Christian perspective, and she's friends with and colleagues with Jemar Tisby. So she sat at the same talk and gazed upon the photo. She was inspired to ask herself, what are we going to do? Realizing as well that the house was built for this, she wondered how to make sure her own house, her spiritual house, could be remade to withstand the fires we now face. This reflects the Star Wars reminder from Rey that rebellions are built on hope. However, hope is not a plan. So Butler Bass came up with the 10 W's. And I'd like to share them with you because I find them immensely helpful in that they are things that strengthen us, grow our capacity, and have a positive community impact. So the first is wake up. Every day. Be on a schedule and stop doom scrolling as much as possible. Welcome the day, every day with gratitude. It's all we have. We have to welcome the day. Walk every day. Get on your feet and move, paying attention to the world, noticing the little things. Be with others every day. Do not isolate. Connect, like here at church. Volunteer. Spend time with people you trust. Work most days. Do what you love. Follow your calling. Tidy your space. In particular, Butler Bass notes, you may be challenged in the future to go far beyond your comfort zone. But it is far more likely that the work you will do will be your primary arena of acts of assistance, democracy, and justice on behalf of others. Be an everyday hero wherever you are. Write every day, weekly, or often. This one is actually about creativity, fully expressing yourself on the page or with a craft. We think we won't want to remember these times, but writing and art can capture them clearly and tell the story. Tricky one. Watch the news as able. Because, Butler Bass says, the arsonists want you ignorant to what's happening. And I think this is incredibly true. So find reliable news outlets and ways to digest in smaller bites. For myself, I've found that newsletters and daily diaries to be helpful. We changed our subscriptions to smaller outlets doing truthful work. So there are things out there that will not make you crazy, but will keep you informed. So the arsonists want you ignorant. Wide sight, a practice to develop. This she adapts from Parker Palmer, the noted writer and Quaker, in which he reflects that our anxieties narrow our vision. By softening, we can take a wider view and see the periphery of the world as well, and we look for what is hopeful, helpful, and healing. Weep whenever. Embrace your emotions as they arise. Do not feel guilty about joy. Again, today is what we have. Talk to others about how you are feeling. And finally, the 10th W is wonder, as much as possible. Nature, museums, music, books, poetry, space, anything that connects you to beauty and inspires awe for you. Awe, she says, is pro-social. In doing these practices regularly, we strengthen ourselves and deepen the community we have here. We are building ourselves up to respond to our reality. Much like the Jedi and other rebels who were determined and disciplined, they also took time for joy and community. It's like the end of Return of the Jedi and the Ewoks dancing and celebrating and fireworks in the sky. We need to find our joyful moments. Perhaps the most challenging and impactful practice I have encountered is found in Father Greg Boyle's book, Cherished Belonging. This book became a part of my daily meditation practice, and a challenging one at that. Each day and with each reading, I was challenged to see the force in all people and to hold people in positive regard. So in Star Wars, our Jedi friends recognize the power of the dark side of the Force, and they work to overcome it in themselves and in others. Boyle has written in his newest book that belonging is the only way through these deeply divided times. Can I look at those who seek to oppress and oppose and remember that only love and belonging are powerful enough to overcome that divide? I must engage and work towards the end of the dark side by standing firm in the belief that liberation is not one way. It is for everybody. And until we are all free no one is free. Real love, the positive force, is not one and done. We have to renew the commitment with each breath we take. Could I do what is asked of me by the universe and find that undying fidelity to the quickening in my heart by remembering that love always comes first, and that love wants what the universe wants, the well-being of others? Boyle goes on to challenge me further, saying that love doesn't allow for us and them. Love is the only thing that burns away that distance. Can I remember to move through the world, as Roshi Joan Halifax advises, with a strong back and a soft front? The call to love others and live with a deep sense of belonging that requires both strength and softness. Now, Father Greg works with and lives among Los Angeles' gang members. He roots himself deeply in the community and lets all who turn up at his Homeboy Industries know they belong. Of his work, he says, quote, "We seek to help folks become more and more their truth in love by loving them, by choosing to brighten, and this builds loving societies." He says, systems change when people do. Systems change when people do. People change when they are cherished. We propel our intentions away from our own self-absorption, and we choose to forget ourselves on purpose. He goes on, our awakened heart sees that everyone gleams with the splendor of God, and that being a constant reminder is our joy. Love is life. Living life fully is what Zen Buddhists call the supreme meal, a life without limits. Our habitual practice and our choosing to cherish with every breath is a decision not to break faith with an awakened heart. We choose to live all over again and daily at the solitary core of our being. We abide in oneness and in the longing, in the love that rests within us. I believe that continuing to develop a deep spirit and sense of belonging here in our community not only strengthens us as individuals, but develops our capacity to show up in the wider world. He goes on to say that to become whole, we need living connection with the whole. The universe or God, whatever your preferred language, wants us whole, all of us. And so we work to create wholeness in ourselves and in the community. That's one of the reasons our welcome words are so important. All of you is welcome here in this community. Similarly, in the Star Wars universe, all were welcome to join the Alliance of Rebels. The Ragtag collection made them stronger and united them because they showed up with their various talents. They used the Force for good, and they lived lives in common cause with one another. We here are able to use our version of the Force, love and covenant, to deepen our connections and sense of belonging with one another. And as we do this, we are building a house that is made for these times, a house that can withstand the attacks on the marginalized, democratic institutions, and the Constitution itself. From our strong, carefully crafted homes, we will be able to stand together, stand up for ourselves and for others. May the Force be with you.
I think I've got it right this time. We're going to sit this time. Is that okay? Chip?
Okay, now for some congregational news. And I do have to sort of start. I got an email from Denise Yeager-Egan, and she just wanted to let everybody know that she actually had no announcements today. And I want to let her know that what she's hearing is a sigh of relief from everybody. So now for the real news. Please join Dining Divas at Stuffed Pizza in Palm Desert on Monday, May 12th at 6 p.m. RSVP sheet is out in the lobby, and Ginger Hemingway is available for any additional information. Next, please join the Committee on Ministry and Reverend Ian today after service for a sabbatical listening session. We'll be there to share more about the plans in the congregation for Reverend Ian's summer sabbatical and to answer questions and your curiosity about how the Committee on Ministry will ensure that the work of the congregation is supported and nourished while Reverend Ian is away. We'll have a light lunch for those who join us. Next, as many of you know and even attended, it was Diana Leslie's, a beloved member of our congregation, her memorial service yesterday. Over her lifetime, Diana collected shells and rocks that her family brought with them for people to take as a memory of Diana. Well, there are still a few left over, so the family asked us to offer these shells and rocks to people at today's service. They are in a jar with a sign on it on the round table in the foyer for folks to take when they leave today's service. And last, and this announcement is actually for the one person who was new, for our guests and visitors, if you want to learn more about us or our programming, please contact the office at admin, ADMIN, at uucod.org, or visit our website, also uucod.org. We can also stop at the welcome table in our lobby if you are interested in getting on our mailing list. A member of our welcome committee will be happy to help you. In each breath we take, may we remember that the work and love, justice and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. So now, let us extinguish our chalice, and as we do so, let us say these words on the screen above. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Do you want to say again, thank you to everyone? And there were a lot of people who had a part in today's service. This was a team effort and a joy to create. I love you, says Princess Leia. I know, responds Han Solo. As we take our leave, may we do so with the confidence of Han Solo, knowing that we are loved by one another, deeply seen and truly belong. And as we move about the world this week, may we share the force and the power of love with everyone we encounter, no exceptions. And therefore, one more time I say, may the force be with you.